Good morning, class. We are headed to ending our unit on argumentative writing, and what better way to end than to talk about the conclusion, which should be the very last paragraph of your 5-paragraph essay. So I'm going to go through literally exactly what you should have in your conclusion paragraph, and then I'm going to end it by showing you 3 different examples of how you can construct a conclusion paragraph. So let me go ahead and open this all the way so you can see it. Alrighty, so your conclusion paragraph. The very first thing that you need to do in your conclusion paragraph is re-explain your argument. So you're simply rewording your thesis statement by making the same point in a different way. So you're taking that thesis statement, which should have been the last sentence of your introductory paragraph, and you're rewording it as the first sentence for your conclusion. Then you give an example. I'm sorry, here is an example, not you give an example. So this is the initial thesis in the introduction. This is what was included in the introduction paragraph. Homework is not beneficial. How you would take this and reword it for your conclusion is research has proven, because you've done that through your paper, that the drawbacks of homework far outweigh any benefits. This right here both ties into what you've talked about in your body paragraphs while also restating the fact that homework is not beneficial. But if you'll notice, this is not just copy and pasted. Now, this means the same thing as this down here, but this is a more developed answer or response because now you've done your research and you have a more developed reason or response. Then you give the why. So if you see there's a theme here. When it came to the introduction paragraph, we had our ABC. And now when it comes to our conclusion paragraph, we have XYZ. So the X was to re-explain. The Y is give the why. So tell your audience why this topic or argument matters. What is the connection to real life? Why was it important that you studied this and that you researched this? To do this, think about why your audience should care about the topic. Think about the specific reasons of what makes the argument that you're making so important. And you don't just want to summarize your points. You pull them all together to make a final statement. You're not just restating what you've already said. You're now bringing them together to give the definition of why your argument matters and why you believe your argument is correct. So here's an example. We have 2 body paragraph points, and then this person decided to do a concession. So if we took what they stated in their body paragraphs, this is how we would give the why in our conclusion. So body point number 1 is that homework stresses students out. Body point number 2 is homework is often basic, not analytical. And then the concession was even though the repetition homework provides can be helpful, students often copy it. So we start off with the explain, the X. Research has proven that the drawbacks of homework far outweigh any benefits. Why? And here we go. In light of its disadvantages, many schools are beginning to reduce the amount of homework students are required to complete each week. Teachers and administrators need to be aware of the effect homework has on teens so that they can make decisions that prioritize learning and mental health. So this essentially gave the reason of why these things were important to begin with. It showed that some schools are reducing the amount of homework and that teachers and administrators need to be aware of the effect on homework, going back into the stress part. So you want to explain to your audience why your argument matters. And then lastly, the Z, the zing. So this is the drop the mic moment that you want to leave in your paragraph or in your essay. So many people have referred to this as the clincher sentence, but for it to go along with the theme of ABC, XYZ, We'll go with zing on this one. So you want to zing the audience with a lasting thought. Say something they will remember. Make that mic drop. So here are some different strategies that you can use to make this zinger, this lasting statement. So we have a framing technique that you could use. You could conclude by linking the last paragraph to the first paragraph, perhaps by including a word or phrase you used at the beginning in your attention getter. So connecting your conclusion paragraph to your attention getter. You could create drama. Conclude with a sentence composed mainly of one-syllable words. Simple language can help create an effective understated drama because it gets to the point. Exactly what I just did. It makes it last. That's the drama that you can create. You can also play on emotions. Conclude with a sentence that's compound or parallel in structure, meaning that it's a bit longer than your other sentences. And these can establish a sense of balance or order that may feel just right at the end of a complex discussion. So let's look at some examples. If we wanted to frame, so tie back into the attention getter. Here we have exactly what we just looked at. We have our X, our re-explain. We have our Y, and now let's look at this zinger of framing. Homework really can seem like a scary monster lurking in the closet. This was something that was used in the attention getter. Schools should be doing everything they can to tame the beast. Dunzo. Perfect. That would be framing. If you wanted to use drama, again, we have the same X, Y, and then look at this drama. Teens are tired and schools can help them. Stop the homework to lift the stress. The short staccato words in this clincher are memorable and dramatic. They leave an effect simply by their presence. Short, sweet, to the point. And then lastly, emotion. So again, we have the same X, the same Y, but let's look at emotion. Teenagers are depressed, overworked, and underwhelmed. Are teachers willing to accept the challenge of changing the way they approach homework? Doing so might be the answer America's students desperately need. So again, this plays on emotions. It uses emotive words like depressed or overwhelmed, challenge, and then desperately. So this one's all about your word choice. And that's it. So again, you want to use X, re-explain your argument, Y, give why your argument matters, and then Z, the zing, drop that mic. And if you'll notice, this conclusion paragraph should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's 6. I believe that this one was 7. No, this one was actually 1, 2, 3, 4. But their sentences were bigger, so keep that in mind as well. And I think this one was the one that was 7. So your conclusion paragraph should be anywhere between 4 to 8 sentences long. That's about how long it needs to be. And let me add a slide on this one. So your conclusion paragraph should be 4 to 8 sentences long. You need to use the XYZ method that was just discussed. That is an expectation. And then the deadline for this. So I'm going to attach this to because this is the last part of your paper. So it'd kind of be silly for you to just send me this and not the rest of your paper. So the final draft of your essay is due, not the final draft, I'm sorry, excuse me, the rough draft of your entire essay. There we go. Is Monday. Monday is when your rough draft is due. And this is Monday. May 11th. The final draft of your essay is next Friday, May 15th. What we're going to be doing between Monday and Friday is just continuing to make that final draft better. Because my hope for you is that you have grown in your argumentative abilities through this process. And in order to do that, sometimes we need to fine tune what we already have inside of what we're working with. So that's what we're going to be doing between Monday and Friday with your work. So again, conclusion paragraph, 4 to 8 sentences long. Use the XYZ method, and I need to see it Monday. Monday, Monday, Monday. And we'll continue to do these peer review things that we have been doing. I would suggest you go ahead and start this today. But as you can see, this might not take you very long. So maybe go back and do the corrections that either I or your peer gave to you on your body paragraphs. Maybe you still need to turn in your body paragraphs. And maybe you need to look at your works cited page. Anything like that, go ahead and do that. It's due on, again, Monday, May 11th. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you need me to re-explain or better explain for you maybe the framing or the drama part, please do not fail to reach out to me, because I am more than happy to help you. But I cannot help you if you don't let me know that you need help. So I'm even more than welcome to Zoom conference with you. We can look at your paper together. I can give you verbal feedback. I've done that with about 3 or 4 of you so far, and I think that that was super helpful. So again, you know where to find me. I hope that you guys have learned a lot during this process, and I miss you guys. Have a good rest of your day. See you later.